Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Football Manager 26 save with Grantham Town, where we're heading into a game against Skegness, which could, if the results go in the right way, we could be crowned league champions. So let's jump into game, and we're going to play Skeggy and see how we get on. Right then, ladies and gents, I've done my pre-match press conference. So yeah, where are Skeggy in the league? 14th. And they've lost 4 of their last 5. Okay, fair enough. We will be having a look at things. Rawlinson appreciates praise from Watty. Really? Considering he slagged me off for Rawlinson criticises Grantham for a lack of directness. And now he appreciates me. Does he? Well, I think he's trying to play mind games. It ain't gonna work. Let's have a look then. Tactical advice. Skegness concede a lot of long shot. What instruction? Well, I believe this instruction would make us more effective going forward, as the opposition are likely to concede chances from deep areas. What instruction? What are you asking me to change, Louis? I'm going to guess it's supposed to be crossing from deep, but the UI doesn't say that. I will do the individual player markings. I think we can all agree player markings and instructions. Brad Munns is lacking a bit of match fitness, so he could do with some minutes. But yeah, I'm not really going to change my team tactics, because we're doing well. Doing very well. And we are out to clinch the title. Yeah, we're not going to offer. I mean, we're still getting talks. SI still haven't managed to fix that issue. I'm guessing Bello's going to be permanently bugged. He's going to be permanently glitched out until we start a new save, I would think. Yeah, I don't feel the need to mess with the team. We're good. We're good. I do feel the need to turn the in-game sound, mute the TV though, the monitor, before I go into match, so I don't get double game audio. But yeah, Skeggy, chance to clinch the league title. Secured promotion first season. That's not necessarily a good thing. Because I don't really have the finances to do a major rebuild for step 4. I'm not sure if there was an option there for me to tell the players go out there and win the league today, but I probably should have clicked that. But then that might put too much pressure on them, so perhaps I'm better off not giving them too much stuff to think about. But yeah, this could be a game where we clinch the league title. There's nothing to play for then for the rest of the season. Because sadly our FA Vars run came to an end, innit? Oh, I'm still bitter about that. I'm still a little bit sour about the fact that our FA Vars got sabotaged because Nick sold Elliot. And didn't give me a chance to go and rebuild and strengthen right before, like literally the day before the game. It's like, no. So sadly, I will not be able to add an FA Vars to my CV in this game. Because it's onwards and upwards for us. We don't get to play in the FA Vars next season as Step 4. We'll be in the trophy. And that's a lot hard. That'll be a lot harder for us to win. I mean, that's almost like, yeah, that ain't never going to happen. Whereas I felt the Vars, we had a good chance of winning the Vars. I do actually need to go and have a look online and see if the database, non-league database by Messi, the guy that has done all the databases that I've used over the last 5 or 6 years, has been released now. Because there's a good chance after this season, when we are champions, I might start a new save and use his database. And because he'll have more of the like league cups and stuff and that in it, which will be a lot better. Give us a bit more to play for. Because this database sadly only has like the FA Cup and like the Vars and Trophy. It doesn't have any of the League Cups. Doesn't have any of the County Cups. I don't even think Messi goes down to that level of detail of County Cups and stuff, because it just gets ridiculous how many games you then have to play at this level. It can be quite expensive playing matches in this game. And just hemorrhage cash every match day. But that's a good goal. Harvey Mordner doing a great job for us in that attacking midfield. I'm so glad he's back from injury. Again, he's been important to us in this title turnaround. A good attacking midfielder. You know, proper like number 10. Someone who sits in that pocket behind the forward, ahead of the midfielders, and just can be a pain. There's Terry. Oh, is it the crossbar? I definitely have to say as well, at this point, player of the season for me so far, definitely is Terry. Terry's been fantastic for us. Bit like real life, you would say. Terry is doing fantastic for us in real life as well. But here in the game, he's been great. And I know I put a lot of praise on Elliot for doing Elliot things, but at the same time, a lot of the time, Terry's like scoring goals or assisting goals. And that's what ultimately, at the end of the day, wins your matches. And there's Cam. Being in the right place, just to put the ball away. It's a 2-0 up. The match is going very well for us. Still on course to finish the season undefeated. Yes, we've had 4 draws in the league, but no team has managed to take the full 3 points off us. So it'd be nice. I suppose if we win the league, the next thing will be, let's go ahead and do a unbeatables. Let's go and have a whole season where we're unbeaten in the league. Because that's an achievement to do in Football Manager. Okay, most people feel more proud of doing that achievement at a higher level. But for me, I'll be very happy to do it at Step 5. Non-league. Because I still think it's an incredible feat to not give away 3 points all season to any team. I'd also like to tick off all the boxes. I'd want to be the team that scores the most goals over the season, team that concedes the fewest goals over the season, you know, highest attendance, best average attendance, all those things. I hope we are like leading all the metric tables, performance tables. I did have a look at the league table the other day, and there's one team that's actually conceded less goals than we have. But I think we play them before the end of the season, so there's a chance that if we can bang a buttload of goals past them, we can fix that. There's Cam and Shorey. Again, I've brought Shorey back in, playing him as right wing. Just to definitely get us over the finish line. Musa comes into his own second half when you bring him on. Against slightly tired legs. He's got a little bit of development to do, I think. Really. Needs another season or so of football before he's, you know, really competing for starting picks. But it's tough. It's tough to keep everybody happy and rotate and make sure everybody's getting game time. And thankfully, we've not really been, apart from Harvey, obviously getting that upper arm fracture and Stegsy breaking a finger, we haven't done too bad on injuries this season, so I've not actually needed the great big massive squad that we've kind of got. So this is the point where probably any of the real life players watching this probably want to cover their ears. Just cover your ears. I might be trimming the squad size over the summer and releasing a bunch of players. Sticking with like the the 17 or 18 players that feature for me on a Saturday, but everybody that's not in this current match day squad probably will be letting go. Just because I've obviously got to keep an eye on the finances and make sure we're not just giving money away, spending money on players that don't play. Oh, that's a goal. That is a fantastic goal from Cam Johnson, and that's his hat-trick, ladies and gents. Boom. Lovely pass from Shorey again. Look at that. Goalie's got no chance. He's out that far. He's miles off his line. He's probably thinking, nah, he's not going to shoot from there. He's not going to do out. Bang. But, to be fair, credit where it's due to the coaching staff. Obviously, Louis done his homework, because Louis did tell me before the game in that match advice screen thing, we should probably shoot from distance, because Skegness are prone to conceding goals from range. I would think because the goalkeeper tends to wander off his line and go walkabout in his box. Which is actually quite true, because obviously I watched Newark and Sherwood versus Skegness at the weekend in real life, because obviously Grantham's game got postponed, and Newark and Sherwood obviously won 2-0. And yeah, not a great defending day by Skegness, I think. There was also a great result of the weekend for Harrowby United. You know, beating Newark Town at Newark Town in a game where Harrowby's former striker that's been poached by Newark Town missed a penalty as well. So even better for Harrowby. They've had several of the players nicked over the last couple of weeks by Newark Town, and then they failed to actually beat Harrowby. So Harrowby must have been like, went for the grass is greener on the other side, but sadly, didn't turn out that way, did it? I also saw Mr. Bojang has joined Newark Town. He's left Lincoln United. They've announced it officially today, I noticed on Twitter, but obviously he was playing for Newark Town at the weekend. And that's not good, is it? He played first game for them and lost to Harrowby. Makes you wonder what's going off at a lot of clubs, because there's a lot of players moving at the minute. And you think, players that were like amazing for you, like early on in the season, you were always raving about them on your socials, player of the match this, and now all of a sudden you're letting them go. You're falling out with them. And I don't quite know why that happens. I know clubs lead positions and often dictate things if clubs aren't achieving what, I mean, obviously, you know, Lincoln United got promoted. They didn't expect to be scrapping around at the bottom of the step 4 table. They'd probably expected to be a little bit further up and not instantly battling relegation. But unfortunately, that's one of those difficult facts of the game. It's a big step up, and it's something that obviously Grantham fans in real life need to understand and think about. That yes, we're doing really well at step 5 and we could get promoted, but do we really want to? Because it's going to be a huge, massive step up to step 4, and we could potentially go from being in the situation we're in now, where we're having a really nice time on and off the pitch, everybody's getting along, everybody's happy, everybody's having fun, to being back in that situation again where we're getting hammered every week. We're getting beat every week, and it's not fun, and it's not enjoyable, and people are getting snippy with each other, and, you know, do we want to ruin that? Do we want to ruin the good time we're in at the moment by going up too early before we've really got the infrastructure in place to, you know, make a serious challenge to avoid immediate relegation again? You know? I don't want Grantham to be a yo-yo club. I would hate that if in real life we become a yo-yo club that just goes up and instantly gets relegated again. You know? Yeah, we're probably too good for step 5. We're not good enough for step 4. Unfortunately, there's no step 4.5. Which is probably where we probably should be. Right, we've got a nice comfortable lead. I think we make some changes, you know. I'm going to bring Mr. Gurn on. I'm going to give Mr. Shaw a rest. I'm going to bring Mr. Wright on. Mr. Frayling for Mr. Munns. I'm going to bring Mr. Hancock on for Mr. Mordner. I could probably do with bringing Randall on for Mr. Mitch. I probably can't do Jonas. No, I don't have enough subs to bring Mr. Jonas on. I don't even know. I could probably take us off attacking now. Just, you know, drop us down a couple of notches on in sort of application. Again, it just make sure we protect what we've got. Let the players just, you know, have a bit of a rest. Not expend so much energy and possibly risk picking up an injury. But yeah, I've been seeing a lot online as well the last couple of days about this last update that this game has gotten from Sports Interactive. A lot of people asking, you know, is this a sign that, you know, this FM26 can be saved by Sports Interactive, or, you know, is there still too much missing or lacking in the game really this year? It's quite an interesting discussion I've seen online, and one of the things I see a lot of people talking about is the lack of immersion in the game this year, the lack of features and things that really pull you in and make you feel like you are managing the football club. I do agree with that. I do tend to agree with that. It does seem to be a lot more like, rather than being football manager, it's almost football match simulator. Because it seems like the whole game's focus is about your next match, the next match, rather than, you know. And a big thing of that I've noticed is in the last couple of days with the fact that we've got our youth intake in the game. We've had our youth intake come in, and it's not very easy to see who are your new youth intake players. You used to have a whole screen with just the youth candidates. You had your under-18s, your under-21 squad, etc. And you had your youth candidates on a separate. They don't have that in the game now, or at least I can't find it. So then it's going through the under-18 squad list, which for some weird reason as well, I've noticed, has all the first team players on it as well. It's like, and also, good luck finding a screen in the game that shows you what your under-18 or youth staff situation is, so you can see your youth staff and see what positions you need to fill. And another thing as well, in the staff responsibilities section of the game, I've definitely got it set so that, oh, you won a domestic league title, you gain promotion to achievements ticked off. We are champions, ladies and gents. I'll probably click that. Ooh. Right, they're offering me 14, nearly 15 grand in transfer budget. They're offering me 1,600 a week wages for next season. We're spending a little bit more than that, which again, although it's not been helped by the fact I've obviously just had to sign a bunch of youth players, the youth graduate candidates, because they take a wage that comes out of the budget, even though they're never going to play for the first team. Or at least I don't think many of them are. We were our own, couldn't capitalise on their failings. What did we fail at? I struggled to think what we failed at in the last match. What did Grantham fail at? We were 5-0 up. We let you score one goal, a consolation goal. And I pretty much, after 60 minutes, changed half the players, took the foot off the gas. And you still didn't do anything about it. Sorry, Mr. Rawlinson. You're a bad, bad loser. But guess what? We're league champions, mate, so, in your face. In your face. But I'll tell you what, though, to be fair, Football Manager does a better job of scheduling league games than the UCL in real life, because an away trip to Skegness in April, middle of April, is a lot freaking better than a midweek trip to them in September. all our fans would have enjoyed a nice weekend away, overnight stay in a travel lodge, Premier Inn or summits. Would have had an absolute fantastic weekend on the lash, and we could have celebrated in style. How do you feel about his most recent comments? Ooh, maybe it's time for me to stop being Mr. Nice. There we go. He's just trying to deflect away from his own shocking performance. There we go. That's a good one. That's a good one. Right, ladies and gents, we've got Boston Town next. Doesn't really, a game that now no longer matters, but obviously it's at home, so we're going to beat them. We're going to look to keep our undefeated. We're going to look to keep our O in the league. And then we've got that end of season game coming up against Araby. So, ladies and gents, I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so we've got the game against Boston. Gonna make a few little changes. Bring in a few other players. Randall's just played for the under-18s. In fact, quite a few players look like they've played for the under-18s. Fraylin has played for the under-18. So we might have to bring Mr. Dougal in. But yeah, by the way, I finally found out just now in between the Skeggy game and this one, I actually finally found the button that allows me to make friendlies for the under-18s. I could have had the under-18s playing matches all season. Unless that's something that has been added in the last patch and wasn't there previously. I've got a feeling it probably wasn't there previously, but yeah, I can now make friendly matches for the under-18. So I've given the under-18s 3 matches in the last week. I figured might as well try and get a bit of use out of them. Be nice if we could actually get to put the under-18s in an actual competition, proper like league. Oh, we're getting a guard of honour. Ladies and gentlemen, Boston Town giving your Grantham Town team a guard of honour. That's a nice touch. Never seen that before in the game. We've not had the big trophy presentation and confetti and all that kind of stuff yet, though. I wonder if they're waiting to do it after this game. It's better to be presented with your trophy at a home game, isn't it? I guess. So obviously Andrews is sitting in that pocket there where he's going to potentially be marking Mordner. There's Staino. Oh, with his big grapefruit. Gets us the goal. It's a shame Will Randall's so good at taking corners, because with his height, he'd be excellent in the box as well. If you could have Randall John and Staino as 3 targets to aim at, we'd probably score a lot more goals from corners. I should probably make Righty take the corners from both sides. And that frees Randall up then to go and get himself in the box and be a big, tall unit to aim at. Another potential header winner. Right, one of the things I want to do is actually speed things up between highlights. As much as I like watching them dots going around, it does tend to drive your eyes a bit. It makes you go a bit, ooh, after a while. So, yeah. I'm also, and this is probably of no interest to anybody, I'm recording this video on Tuesday. Okay, hopefully for a end of week release. The reason for that being, the video editing software that I use, I have 2 different pieces of software I flick back and forth between Sony Vegas and DaVinci Resolve. Both of those at the minute are not working very well. The reason being, my graphics card manufacturer Nvidia released an update last week, updated drivers for all their GPUs, all their graphics cards in the world, and they've obviously broke something, because none of the video editing software that I use can now see the graphics card and use the graphics card for rendering the videos. So I'm having to do all my video rendering at the minute on my CPU, and it takes forever. The last video that I released at the weekend, the update, episode 8 update video, that took about 5 hours to render. So obviously my productivity pipeline at the minute is greatly slowed down and impacted by the fact I can't render videos as quickly as I was able to. Used to, you know, for a 45-50 minute video, it'd take me about an hour to render it once I'd got it all edited how I wanted it. Take about an hour, and then I could just upload it and do what's needed to do on the YouTube side. The fact that it now takes like 5-6 hours to get one video rendered, it's like, Plus I keep having this crashing issue as well, because that's another thing as well. Nvidia graphics cards at the minute do not play nicely with Windows 11. You keep getting black screens, and your fans going into turbo overdrive, and it affects cards from the 3000 series, 4000 series, which I'm running, and obviously the latest 5000 series GPUs. And it's weird. It's obviously something to do between it's something to do between a Windows update that happened earlier this year, which I can't get rid of now, and obviously the Nvidia drivers themselves, where the two sort of don't handshake correctly. They stop handshaking correctly and talking to each other correctly, and there's a thing where one of them asks a question of the other and expects a response and doesn't get it in the time that it expects it to, so it goes, oh no, it's broken, and shuts down. And that's what causes the problem. And at the minute, they don't seem to be able to fix. No one seems to want to fix it. Like, Nvidia don't seem to want to hold up their hands and say it's an issue that they've got. Windows don't want to hold up their hands and say, Microsoft don't want to hold up their hands and say it's an issue that we've caused and we need to fix. So at the minute, for Nvidia graphics card users, it's a bit of a fucking pain, and it especially affects me when I'm doing me streaming in the week, like on Kick and stuff. Because literally, I'll go to start playing a game. I'll get to probably the loading screen in the game, or just load into the game, get a couple of minutes into it, and then boom, it fucking falls down on me. The PC crashes. And then I have to restart, wait for everything to load up. It takes a long while for my PC to load everything, reload everything, and get to the point where I can hit the button to start streaming again. In that time, your audience is gone, because nobody's got attention spans these days. You know, if it's took me 5-6 minutes to get the PC restarted, everything back running, and got online again, by that time people have clicked off and gone to find another stream to watch. So yeah, it's really fucking annoying me. It's really annoying me. It's not making it fun to do streaming at the minute. IT issues, and I've updated everything I can possibly update on the PC. It's not a me issue. I'm fairly confident that it's not a me issue now. But yeah, 4-0, Boston Town getting beat at the Mears by newly crowned champions, Grantham Town. At some point we need to put Mr. Gurney on. Just to further rub it in Boston's wounds. But we'll give old Mumsy a chance for a few more minutes. Sure, it. Andy, right. Andy, right. Lewis John, not to be outdone by Staino in the first half. Lewis John now gets his big grapefruit on the ball. So yeah, that's one thing that just never changes in Football Manager. You've got to have a big, tall unit in your side just for set pieces. And I'm blessed with having two, Staino and John. But yeah, you get yourselves a couple of real big, tall centre-backs, and it really, really does help. Stop you conceding goals from set pieces, and then making you an absolute threat from set pieces. And I still feel it's like one of the gamey ways of gaming the game. Used to be always the thing, didn't it? A couple of years ago, the absolute fail-safe tactic was someone with a long throw, someone with a long bullet throw or whatever, and you just aim and target the tallest player you'd got at the near post or the far post, if they were capable of throwing it that far, and you just scored every time. Every time you had a throw, it was like, oh, this is going to be a goal. Because it's like the opposition didn't know how to defend it, couldn't defend it for some reason. I remember watching like the like streamer showdowns and stuff, Football Manager streamer showdowns that used to happen a couple of years ago, where they had all the top streamers and top players of Football Manager going head to head in like a big network thing, like tournament, knockout tournament thing. And it would always be and they'd have to draft, obviously they'd draft their teams live first night on the Friday night. They'd have the first then round of the league, like the group stage, if you like, of the competition on the Saturday night, and then they'd have the finals on the Sunday. And it'd always be the same. People would obviously do their draft and everything. The guy that won the Streamer Showdown the most number of times did so by picking, with his first pick, he'd go for like Virgil van Dijk of Liverpool, and then his second pick, he'd pick the most obscure player you'd never heard of, but had like 20 long throw attribute and possessed a bullet throw. And his whole tactic would be built around throwing the ball at the guy's head, the big guy's head. I tell you what, surprisingly, worked an awful lot. Worked very well. We've got Dukes. We can bring Dukes on for Munsey. That's not going to be a problem. Do I bring Price on? For Mordner, who's looking very uninterested. Possibly so. And I can actually bring Jonas on, actually. One of those rare days where we swap the goalkeeper. It's not very often I change goalies mid-game, unless there's an injury, or very rarely do goalkeepers get red carded in Football Manager. Don't see a lot of goalkeepers getting sent off in the game. But yeah, it's nice to be able to give Jonas a few minutes. And he makes a great save there. I'll tell you what we need to do. We need to go balanced. Now we've made the changes, we're not going to be quite as forward pressing again as we have been. We're 5-0 up. We don't need to be. We can be a bit more disciplined is the word I'm looking for. Handball! Louis Nicholson! Handball! That was a blatant punch job, that. That's a booking. Come on, Jonas. Oh. No chance of saving that. That was hit well. Penalty spot be any bigger? Who painted that? Nigel? There we are. 5-1 winners against Boston Town. Nice. Blown them away, lads. Well done. Got post-match press conference to do. Do we get? We probably don't get a post-match press conference now, actually, because no one cares, because we've won. We've won the league. But yeah, Terry, another good goal. Atom was on form. Again, chipping in with goals, and if you don't chip in with goals, he chips in with assists, which is nice. Oh, it's nice to have players like Terry on the team. It really is. So there we go. There's our league table, ladies and gents. So Melton have conceded less than us. Gesley and Hucknall have conceded less than us. We need to... I would like to have the best goal defence in the league come the end of the season. There's not many games left. It would be nice to finish the season. We're definitely going to be top goal scorers because there's no one even remotely close to us. And like I say, I would like to keep that undefeated badge. So, ladies and gents, the plan now for me is to go play the remaining few games. We'll come back for the Harrowby game at the end of the season and then do the end of season sort of review and sign off, I guess. And then obviously in the next video, I'll talk about my plans for going forward. So, ladies and gents, thank you for joining me today. As always, thank you for the support on these videos. It really does mean a lot and really helps me out a lot as well. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. But for now, from me, take care of yourselves, stay safe, goodbye.